Today we're having a launch talk on employment, and our topic is working from home challenge for the working mothers. It is an interesting topic that is showing the norm in our society nowadays since COVID-19 pandemic has happened. And this is a critical condition is challenging the working mothers because they need to nourish their child while working to support the whole family. So this is an interesting topic is presented by the group one on the FEM 3104, Working Ecology and Human Development in this webinar. Also, let us welcome our panelists today, Dr. Aini Zika Binti Maruf, who is a senior lecturer of the Department of Social and Development Science in the University of Putra, Malaysia, and working mother as well, to give a talk to us later. All right, before we start the webinar, thanks again to all the participants who joined our webinar today. If you have any question to ask during the talk, please type them in the chat box. We will bring them during the Q&A session. Thank you. Now I pass to Zakia.
Okay, thank you again to Duan Lizing. And I also want to welcome to Dr. Zika. And Dr. Zika, how are you today?
Fine, great, thank you.
Okay, can I start my first question, Dr. Zika?
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah.
The first question that I want to ask you that, in your opinion, what is important for a mother to work?
Okay, thank you, Duan. Thank you, Zakia, for the invitation. I would say it as more as a sharing session as a mother of two. Okay, so and thank you also to Dr. Arnida and Dr. Sauda for providing this platform for this sharing session on, if I'm not mistaken, work ecology. Yeah. So I'm not the one that is expertise in work ecology. So this is some sort of lunch talk, sharing talk about our topic today. So back to the question by Zakia, why is it important for a mother to work? So as we can see that today we no longer see a woman as a stay-at-home mother with a stereotype task, right? So in the past, we used to define motherhood that involved lifelong goals of taking care of the children and doing the household chores. So, and they usually the household chores, they did it alone, while the husband usually will be the breadwinner, okay, providing the money for the family itself. But then what I can see nowadays is that women itself now play an important role to contribute, not just in terms of money, in terms of the family financial itself, but also in terms of, to the society, to the community, okay, by involving with any volunteerism, NGOs, etc. So, but then, however, we know that I'm not really sure in the Western country, but then in the Asian countries, sometimes we do believe that mothers should be staying at home, right? And then they need to tend to their children needs. But then I think nowadays, that's why I always highlight this, no matter how wealthy you are, okay, but that education is very important. So because from the education, then we will get empowered. So then why is it important? If you ask me, I would say that it is aspirational, okay, aspirational to achieve social prestige, to get the material success. Okay, that's why I work myself. And then I cannot generalize my answer to, every each woman, a working mother, because I'm working as a lecturer. So the job spec might be differ. My intention to work might be differ. So after 3 years of, studies, finishing my PhD, and then if I don't contribute my knowledge to, the society, the community, then I would feel like, there's something that is not right. Okay, so I have to share. So that's why my intention, why I want to work is because I want to deliver my knowledge to others in need, especially to the student itself. Okay, so one of the reasons is aspirational. The second one is probably why is it important for social security? All right. Social security here means that it is more in terms of protection. Okay. So even though we're already married, we never know what will happen in the relationship, right? So even though I already like married for 10 years, but we still like cats and dogs sometimes. So you understand that. So we never know what's going to happen in the marriage, or we never know what's going to happen in the life, especially you know, for those single mother, okay, whether it by divorce or whether the husband, you know, died. So I believe that not just in terms of aspirational because we want to work, but then in terms of the social security for the protection. Okay, nowadays we need insurance, so we need some sort of you know, a strong foundation of financial. And then what else? And then I would say that it is important for a mother to work to show their independence, okay? Because many cases that, because I also involved with NGOs, and many cases they reported by mothers or single mother is that they don't have work, they don't have a strong financial background for, you know, to feed their kids. And then what else? And then if you ask me in terms of independency, okay, I like to be independent, even though let's say if I have to buy something, okay, go to kedai runcit, kedai Aceh, and then I forgot to buy, bring my purse, and then I have to ask my husband for money. I feel like, you know, that sort of unsatisfying without, you know, don't have that money. So don't have that cash in my hand. Okay, not that, you know, my husband can't support us as a family, but then, you know, we want to have the feeling of stand up by our own. Okay, so yeah, aspirational, social security, independence. And then, you know, that is from my case. But then there's another case that a mother may, yeah, we might say that a mother may work because out of financial compulsion, it's not compulsory for them to work. But then let's say the husband can support the family, but then they might, you know, the mother itself might want to have additional money. They might want to have additional clothes for themselves. They might want to treat themselves. They might want to buy new furniture. They want to have, you know, their own investment, their own assets. So that's why they work, okay? So, but in the other hand, there's also a mother that, you know, whether they like it or not, but it is compulsory for them to work, especially for those that have a husband that is less competent, okay, less competent in terms of inadequate income, they have less income. So means that the mother needs to work to support the family financial. And then this also comes to a single mother, okay, so which is really dependent on earning money for the survival of not just themselves, but also the kids, okay. But then, however, you know, how important the work is for the mother, but then sometimes we know that there's certain culture, there's certain societal norms that don't accept mother, you know, as a working mother, because they might ask, they might say that, why are you working? Kenapa anak ditinggalkan? Kan, you supposed to be at home, you supposed to didik anak, but then why you tinggalkan, like that kan, why you bekerja sedang your husband mampu je, macam tu lah. So the importance of the working mother, it really depends on the individual itself. Okay, I can't generalize my answer to every mother, because they might have their own reason on why they want to work. Okay, and I have a friend, she's a Sabahan, and then unfortunately she went for a divorce. Okay, so because yeah, her husband is not a responsible husband, didn't give any, you know, nafkah, the alimony. Okay, so then she filed for divorce, and then now she's a single mother. So whether she like it or not, she has to work. Okay, and currently she is one of the deputy Timbalan Pengarah somewhere under the JKM. Okay, but then her kid, her son is at Sabah right now, but then she is now working at Melaka. So, you know, this is one sort of pengorbanan lah yang sometimes for the mother, okay, especially when she wants to raise the children by herself. Okay, that's why whether she like it or not, she has to work, okay, for the survival. So I think that is basically why a mother needs to work, okay. First of all, because they think that is a need for them to work, because she just someone that is active, she just someone that wants to contribute to society, or on the other hand, she must work, is compulsory for her to work, because of she needs the money, okay. But on top of all, if you ask me personally, why do I prefer to go to the office instead of working from home, is that I get the me time. Okay, that is my break. Whether even though I have to do my work at the office, but then that is my me time. Okay, because it's hard, working from home when there's multiple responsibility. Yeah. All right. So I think that's for the first question, Zakia. Hopefully it answered. Yeah.
Yeah, Doctor. So you can see that important for a mother work because economy factor are also factor too easy to burn of husband. In additional, to gain experience due to exit knowledge, so as to future develop existing talent. Like Dr. Azika said too, we all don't know what our future will be like. Maybe not good for the relationship between husband and wife, but in the future we don't know what will happen to us. And there are also single mothers who work for the sake of survival to raise children. I cannot imagine the sacrifice of a mother who give birth to and tired of looking for sustenance. So I will give the next question to Duan. Duan, are you okay?
Oh, he stopped suddenly. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Duan, you can start for the second question.
Mhm. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Probably lose my connection. I will ask again. The second question is, so doctor, can you share what are the challenges facing by working mothers who working from home during the COVID pandemic?
Okay, that's a nice question. But then even though it's already passed because we are into the endemic, but then yeah, living in this uncertainty times, that we never know what's going to happen next week. We never know what's going to happen next month. And then the Omicron virus is now in Malaysia, and then we have the Delta variant. So probably next week we are under PKP again. We never know. So then when you say about the pandemic and then what challenges that the working mother faces, I think that, if we are alert that there's an increase of mental health issues, particularly among the mothers during the pandemic. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, when the COVID-19 hit during the December, okay, so we can see that many organizations, many institutions require the employees to, working remotely, okay, working at home to help to flatten the curve. But then, and then we are aware that, not just in Malaysia, not just in China, but across the country, all over the world, the schools, the daycare, okay, they have to close down. So, and then the working parents have, to take the additional role of the teacher, not just to be the parents, but also they need, to educate the children themselves, and then not just need to educate, but then at the same time to, take care, because we are just staying at home, right? So it's quite stressful actually when at the first hit of the pandemic, when we still can't adapt to the, the new situation, the new condition, and then we just like stay at home. Okay. So one of the things that I think the most common thing that happen or challenge that happen to the working mother is they have to juggling work. Okay, juggling work and also with their children's online learning, especially for those that have children between the age of 4 years till the secondary school. Yeah, so they have to juggling between work, and then at the same time that children have to go for online class learning schedules. So that is very hard. Okay, personally, it's very hard to me as well, because it's hard to keep up with our performance. When we go to office, then we can focus on our work, but then when we are working from home, we have to work, do our the work is keep on coming. Okay, even though we're not going to over the week, keep on coming. So then at the same time I have to face, if personally talking about my story, I have to face two sons. All right, not that my husband didn't cooperate, but then when we say about children, they were always searching for their mother, right? So even though sometimes, like yesterday, I'm doing an online class at home, and then my kids, even though there are plenty space in the house that they can play, but then they still like play behind me. It just, you can understand. Sometimes it's very hard for you to keep on focus when you are at home. And then so yeah, juggling work between work and children. Okay, doing the working from home. And then we are worrying about the interruption during the online meeting. Okay, even though the lecturer themselves, they worried, let's say in terms of the internet connection, those with small kids. Okay, and then even though there's some of my friends, when they have to give an online talk, suddenly the small baby crying, and then that is something that interrupt our focus, right? So not to mention the growing of the anxiety, because we don't know when will this pandemic, this virus stop. Okay, so and then on top of all, I think that if the mother can't adapt quickly, okay, they will feel overwhelmed. Okay, so this will develop the burnout. So I do receive some of my friends that have developed the severe anxiety during COVID-19, not just what you call that, not just the anxiety developed during the pandemic, during the PKP, but currently she still have that severe anxiety. So these are the things that challenges during the working from home, because we have to juggle with our own tasks. We have to juggle with the kids itself. Okay, and then not to mention we have to do all the revision with the kids. So all this, sometimes it contributes to our tense, our not distress, but then just stress. Okay, we sometimes burn out. We sometimes have lack demotivate, right? And then when I think the most thing that we are facing, okay, not just in terms of work, but then when you are at home, you have to be like an octopus. Okay, means that you have a multiple, you have lots of hands that you need to do this and that, because when you're at home, it's not just you focus on your work, but then at the same time, your mind will, thinking at the kitchen, have you cooked or not? And then how about the laundry? So that is one of the things when you're working at home, okay? Especially for a mother, we need to be sometimes multitasking. So if we are at the office, then we can just focus with our work. But then when we are at home, then okay, that is when when it's raining, okay, when we give the online class, we've been thinking of our laundry outside, and then the kids keep on asking what for lunch, what for dinner, is there any food? So that sort of distraction, okay. So yeah, but then that is among the main challenges that the working mother face, okay. And then not to mention, when we are working, sometimes we do have this emotional burden, okay, because we have to do multiple tasks, and then that will make us sometimes feel guilty. All right, the constant grapple with guilt, because I could say that it's not intentionally, but unintentionally, we sometimes, get mad of our kids. We tend to easily get anger because we've been distraught when we are doing our work. So at the end of the day, we might feel guilty because supposedly they should get the comfort, the warmth from the mother, but then at one point we as a normal human being, we have our limit, right? But then it's just not me. When I share with my other colleague at the office, they also feel that sort of guilty as a mother because even though they're at home, but then at the same time they have to work. Okay, so but then that sort of there's what you call that in between the passion and obligation. You're passionate with your work, and then at the same time you have to oblige with your family, your responsibility towards your family. Okay, so that is the main working from home challenges, never ending effort to multitasking. Okay, so I think hopefully that answers the question on the challenges that we are facing as a working mother, especially working from home.
Yes, it's really just answered well. I think during this time, all the women working as a mom and doing the work simultaneously is really Wonder Woman. And it's really facing the mental health challenge because just like you say, doing the things multitasking, how about cook, how about my child while I'm doing the online course? Yeah, that's really a challenge. And child is most need to caring and as well as the family. So the working place definitely is not a perfectly place, but it's definitely suited for work. At least you can focus on things 100%. But in home, it's another story. It's doing all the things combined together. So women is really being challenged during this time, and as well as the working mom, it's definitely a challenge. Yeah. So I pass to the next question to Zakia.
Okay, Doctor, this is a last question from us. So, Doctor, how to achieve a work-life balance as a mother and a worker? Can you explain more?
Mother and worker. Okay, thank you, Zakia. So as I mentioned just now, being a working mother, there's a pro and cons. The pro is that you can do something that you like. You receive money every month. Okay, money that totally belongs to you. Okay, you have that cash in hand. But then, the danger is when you have the inability, an inability to maintain the work-life balance, right? So for a mother, especially working full-time, it can be extremely tedious and exhausting at one point. Yeah, and besides having to handle with the professional work, they also have to, do the household chores, look after their kids, and then this will, if they can't have a proper planning or organize, then that will contribute to their burnout or emotionally burden, right? Not just physically, but also mental and also emotion, because this involves there's something that you passion, and then at the same time it involves your family, the one that is very significant to you. Okay, so that's why sometimes that's why we can see that quite a numbers of a working mother that ended up having mental health after this pandemic. Okay, so if you ask me, okay, this might also can't be generalized to other mother. It really depends, okay, because in psychology we also understand that every individual are different in their own way. Okay, even though you might see that I'm like this externally, but then internally, okay, just the people around me know who I am. Okay, so but I can say that moms work a lot. Okay, so that's why if I'm not mistaken, that the sociological literature say that we have the second shift. Okay, means that after we finish our full-time paid work, okay, then we go home, we have our second shift which is the responsibility for the family, right? So then that's why work-life balance is important in this for a working mother. So when we know that it is extremely difficult to break away from troubles, okay, from being a working mother as well as a full-time mother, okay, but then I think there's always a solution, because when you want to be a mother itself, that is your decision. Okay, you choose to be a mother, then once when you want to be a mother, then that's come the responsibility. All right. So what I can say that the first thing of all is organize and plan the work day beforehand. Okay, so that you can manage your time efficiently. So this is what I did whenever, I know I didn't do this every day, but then whenever I know that there's certain days that I will be very packed, okay, giving talk, and then there's some sort, if as a lecturer, we need to do the writing, publication, article, and then at the same time, we need to supervise students, and then we need to do a networking with the community. It's not just like teaching, yeah. So that's why if you receive a late feedback from your lecturer, so probably if not, they're not focused on the family, perhaps they have lots of work to do, okay, not just like giving the lecture. So what I did is that I organized, means that I will jot down what should I finish up by the next day. Okay, I will do a list, all right? So in psychology, that's also a good thing to do, okay, because how can we help our mind is by writing out what is in our mind. Okay, means that you can't burden your mind, okay, even though it have large what you call that a big capability to do everything, okay, our mind, but then at the same time, how you can help your mind to function nicely is that by jotting down what you should do, okay, it might help you to organize more proper. So yeah, what I did is organize and plan, okay, let's say tomorrow, like tomorrow I have something to do, okay, my schedule might be packed, so I will jot it down, okay, and then the most important psychologically is understand which type of person are you, okay, are you an early bird or are you a night owl, okay, which is the time that you think that you are most proactive, okay. So if you ask me, I'm an early bird, okay, so if I need to give a talk at night, okay, or if I need to do work at night, I will easily get moody, okay, so don't disturb me at night because I'm totally not a night owl, all right. So my productive time is early in the morning, okay. So so that's why as an individual in psychology, you have to identify, are you an early bird or are you a night owl? If you're an early bird, then spend the morning to finish out what is important, what is crucial for you to finish out, okay? So that's why I know that my productive time is morning. So when I go to the office, then I will just like focus for 4 hours, finishing up my work, okay? Because I know that by the afternoon or evening, I would not be that productive, okay? But then this semester, my class is all evening, all right? So, but then as a person, you need to know, as an individual, you need to know, yourself, okay? So organize and plan. And then make sure you develop a relationship, okay? So when you have a family, make sure you develop a relationship with especially your partner or your husband, okay? So you need to acknowledge your husband or your partner role as a parent, okay? Not just the mother, but then the husband also as a parent, okay? So means that we want them to put the same effort as we do, as we do in taking care of the family. So that's why communication is very important, all right? So sometimes the mother think that, okay, I can do everything, I can do all the household chores, etc., etc. But then you always have that limitation, okay? So until when? So that's why you need to have that communication and then divide the task with the partner or the husband. Okay, so they know, right, every morning what should I do. Okay, like my husband, I also like okay, he already know that he needs to do the laundry. Okay, so if you don't give distribute the task and you need to do everything at one point, you will not just burn out, you akan meletup, right? You will like explode. So it's very important, all right, because when as a working mother, you also contribute financially to the family. So means that not that you're the breadwinner always should be the husband, okay? But then bear that in mind, even though you might have, your salary might be higher than your husband, but then still the husband is the breadwinner, okay? My money is my money, my husband money is also my money, okay? All right, so make sure you develop a relationship, okay? Make clear of the task. And then another one, what is important is you need to maintain cordial relationship, okay, with your relatives, with your parents, okay? This one is in terms of, for those that married, all right? Cordial relationship means that be good with your uncle, aunties, or with your parents, because at one point you never know when you need their help, especially to take care of the kids. Okay, so let's say if you're in emergency, you need to have a ad hoc meeting, and then currently nowadays, not nowadays, starting from yesterday, it's like what you call a break for the school, right? For 3 weeks. So you have to make a good relationship with your close family members, because it's easy for you to ask for help in any time that you are in need. And then another thing that is most important is that you need to make sure your colleague and also your boss, or in my case, my head department, okay, know the importance of my child and also my family. So let's say in terms of emergency, then they will understand our situation. Okay, so that is very important. But then we might know that not all bosses or not all head departments, can what you call that, can accept if we have any family issues, etc., etc. But then that is the things that sometimes we need to face. But then luckily Dr. Roslan, my head department, is so good with this, so it's very understandable. Okay, so it's very important. Yeah, you have a supportive colleague, you have a supportive head department. But then my advice is yeah, we can share, but then not too much of self-disclosure, because if you still remember in social psychology, we have the terms of suffocation, right? We don't want to show suffocation is people showing their weaknesses to others to get the empathy, sympathy, but not too much of that, because at one point people will easily get annoyed, right? And then they won't believe us. So, but then make sure if let's say the family or the kids are not in a well condition, then we tell our boss, okay, we can always have a discussion with the boss for them to understand our condition. Okay, so this is work-life balance, because sometimes why I say this is because sometimes there is also a working mother that are afraid to share their story to the colleague or the boss, because because that's why I say there's so many types of people, individual, right? Probably they don't want to share their family matters with others, but sometimes we do need, because of we need the social support. All right, so that is where the balance comes in. All right, the social support itself. So I think that is among the things that we could apply to in order of the work-life balance. And then, as I mentioned just now, is that as a working mother, okay, you need to, use fully your time whenever you are at the office. For example, now we are already working at the office, okay, so you need to use your time fully whenever you have that time. Okay, so that's why when I'm at the office, then I will fully use my time to focus with my task, because I know that's why if I'm at home, now I'm at home, okay, it's hard for me to focus. Okay, so whenever we have time to do the work at the office, so fully use that time. Okay, so as what I mentioned just now, as a me time, my me time is when I go to the office. So when because each individual might have their own definition of me time. Okay, my friend, the definition of me time is they go for a vacation with their friends, okay, leaving their child and husband at home. But that is not my sort of me time. My me time, because I do believe that once I'm married, once I have a husband and children, my me time, I don't have that sort of me time by my alone, by being happy with my my friends. But then my me time is when I go to work in my own office, or my me time is when I'm watching Netflix by my own, but still at my home. Okay, so if my kid distract me, and then I will get angry easily because that is my me time, even though I'm at home. All right, but so this is something that yeah, we need the me time, but then the definition of me time might vary by individual. Okay, but then whenever you have that time for you to focus, okay, so be focused and try to finish up your work. Okay, so yeah, and then that is when that is also me time, when you go to office and then you're going to have a quick lunch with your colleague. Okay, that is a sort of me time. But yet again, it might vary, differ by individual, right? Okay, so I think that's what you call that among the things that we can apply. Okay, and then use the saving hacks. Let's say if you can't work, if you too tired enough to work to cook for dinner or for lunch, then we always have the Grab food. We always have the fast food restaurant. Okay, I'm already thinking after this I'm gonna grab a KFC for my kids. Okay, so we have that no, we call that life saving hack. Okay, so if you're too tired enough, don't force yourself. Okay, we always have the option that we can take or we can grab. Okay, to make ease of our mental health. All right, so I think that's I really hope that it answered your questions, Zakia, for the third one on the life work-life balance. Yeah. Thank you.